to 2019 and to this episode of what used to be Date Like a French Woman and is now shifting to Single and Doing It All, the podcast to help single moms looking for love and doing it all make their life easier and overcome the challenges that can be quite frequent. I know what I'm talking about. So, what have you decided for 2019? How I was absent from my podcast for some time now because I traveled overseas and I didn't have an internet connection everywhere I went. So I decided to take a vacation and I didn't, so I don't know what's going on with you. How have you ended 2018? Did you have any aha moments? Did you make any big decisions for the beginning of this new year? Let me know. Contact me either on Facebook. And by the way, I changed my Facebook page to Your French Life Coach. So that's where you can find me. Or you can join the group who also has changed its name to Single and Doing It All and answer the questions there. You can let me know as a single mom what challenges are you running into, whether it is in your love life, your mom role, your life at work, anywhere in your life, because in this coming up year, I will provide you with some tools to really make it easier in all the areas of your life. I will interview experts on all kinds of topics and to address all your areas. Let me tell you why and how I decided to do that. And then we'll go into the part of the podcast where I will give you the two most important questions, like my title is stating, for you to have the most outstandingly fulfilling year ever. Before we do that, I would love to explain to you why I decided to change. Well, in 2018, I was very active in my business. I did a lot of stuff to make it expand, but I also had quite a few challenges in my life, and mostly on a health level and on a mom level. And I got to a point where I was emotionally and physically exhausted. I got to a point where I debated stopping the business. Because as you know, I am doing it all as well. I am single, looking and opening to find love. I am working with a full-time job and developing my business on the side, coaching women, mostly during the weekends and in the evening. So my schedule was very busy. And that's where I got to that point. And maybe you're there too. Maybe you don't have a business on the side, but you have so many responsibilities as a single mom that you're getting to a point of almost burnout. And that's where I'm here to come and help you and provide you with some tools and some tips, the ones that I am using myself, the ones that I teach my clients, and that I see them apply successfully to change their lives. Because it can be brutal to be on your own doing it all. On my hand, I do everything. I'm the financial support, the emotional support, the physical support, everything for my kids. So I am the mother, I am the father, I am everything. And I don't know if that's your case too. You know what I'm talking about. It can be scary. It can be challenging. You can come to a point where where I was at the end of 2018, you're not sure anymore that you can take it all. You're not sure that you have what it takes. You're not sure that you will find the answers to address the challenges, because you have come to a point where you're so exhausted that you somehow, you're not in the best relationship with your wise self. And we all have it. Our answers are inside. Although we may need the help of experts sometimes, like I know I had psychologists for some of my kids, but the wise mom is inside you. You have access, and you can take a mind, body, spirit approach to find your answers and to find your peace and to feel loved and to feel centered. It's all available to you, but that requires you to know how to access it and to slow down enough on a regular basis so that you build that relationship with your true self. What I call your true self is the self that you cannot see with your eyes, but the self that is constantly connected to the field of infinite wisdom, the field of infinite love, and you can call it any way you want. God, the universe, the field, infinite intelligence, infinite love. It doesn't matter what name tag you put on it. It's all there, you're part of it, and it's all available to you 24/7 if you wish to connect with it. So that's what I decided to do this year, to help you connect with that, to bring you also some practical tools to face the challenges of doing it all by yourself, and to bring you some love, really, because we're all in the same boat. Although I'm a coach and I may know some stuff that you don't know, you have your own wisdom as well, and it's time for you to connect with it. What I'm going to do now is invite you, if you are in a place where you can sit down with pen and paper. Actually, no, we're going to do an inner journey before. So if you are not in a place where you can do that, maybe wait, and when you get home, find yourself a few minutes to do that inner journey and then to write the answers that are going to come to you. Because what we're going to do is access your center and ask the questions that will help you. So if you are ready now, sit down, take a deep, deep breath, actually 2 or 3, where you put your hand on your stomach and you really breathe in and out from your lower stomach, really opening the diaphragm to let more air in. So let's do that right now. Take a deep breath in from your nose and let it go from your mouth. Let's do 2 more like that. And let it go from your mouth. Last one in. And let it go from your mouth. And now bring your attention to your heart center in the middle of your chest. And visualize a light, a flame there. Just look at it, become aware of it, and connect. And as you connect, you see that light becoming bigger and bigger. Every time you breathe in, it gets bigger. And soon enough, it will fill your entire body. And once it fills your entire body, see it radiating out, this beautiful light, out of your body. And you are now in touch with your essence. This is the way to get connected really quickly. And now you are going to review the past year really quick and see what stands out when I ask you, what did not work last year? What could you have done without? What was painful? What didn't create the result you would like in your life? See what stands out, because one thing or two are going to stand out. Just take notice and let them go. And now let's go to the second question. What could you celebrate about last year? What accomplishment? What victory? Is it a victory and an accomplishment in your outer world? Like something you built, something you succeeded at, something you did? Or an accomplishment and a victory in your inner world? For example, for me, I expanded my awareness of my thoughts. And because I did that, I was way more capable of spotting the negative thoughts that didn't serve me and replace them and let them go. What were you successful in doing inside, within yourself? Maybe it's just learning to go back to peace. Or maybe it's something that you haven't been successful yet at and you want to become successful next year. I'm sure you have several examples of what you did last year. It can be as small as being calmer and more able to listen to the people around you, your loved ones, your kids. Just take note, notice. And now take a deep breath and let it go and open your eyes. That's the part where you're going to take a piece of paper and a pen and write what you got. Because the goal in this coming year is to make your life more fulfilling by letting go of what no longer works and inviting more of what works. And maybe if you had some accomplishments, what are some related things that you could do to augment the good feeling of they brought to you when you were successful? If it's an inner victory or an inner accomplishment, how can you grow that, evolve it? And they can be very, very tiny shifts. It doesn't have to be something big, because as you know, if you've listened to me for a while now, you know that I used to have a business called Small Shifts for Big Happiness, because really, the internal shifts that you make can be very small and the outer result can be huge. You know, as when you have a circle and you go to the center of that circle and you move just a little bit, a few degrees. When you stand in the circle, in the close to the center, it may be a very small move, but the more you go toward the outside and the rim of the circle, the more the difference between where you would have landed in the initial position and the place where you're landing because of that tiny shift. Let's say you went a little bit to the left and you draw a line from the center to the out rim, the result is huge on the rim. So that's the same principle. A very tiny shift inside would create a very big result outside. A result in your level of fulfillment, a result in your level of maybe self-confidence, a result in your level of happiness. And I did not have my students or myself make any New Year's resolution this year. I decided to approach it a little bit differently. What we are going to do is examine the results of those two questions. And I will be doing a more in-depth approach process of this exercise in my Facebook group coaching, which is private, the one that is facebook.com/groups/single and doing it all. Because when you join that group, you will have a question that will come up for you to answer, to know why you're joining that group. As you know, I'm very selective, so I protect my members and I make sure that you are in the right group for what you're looking for. And in this question, you're going to answer, and it's private. I mean, only I will read it. The kind of challenges that you're facing in your life. And that will also serve as topics for my future podcast episodes. So you may have your question answered in one of the episodes. So that would be like personal coaching for you. And in that group, I usually do a monthly inner process or a monthly exercise. And this month, we will be doing those two questions in a more in-depth approach, more in details. So you'll have a better idea, and maybe if you didn't get any answer in this quick visualization that we did, you will get more answers in the exercise when we're going to do it live there, because I will be guiding you in different areas with different questions, like sub questions. So join us and use the answers of those questions to guide you in 2019. For myself, the reason that I changed the podcast is that I realized that talking about dating alone wasn't satisfying for me. That wasn't the main area of focus in my life. It's still there. I still have a lot to say about it, and I will still give you some advice on love and how to feel sexy the French way and how to feel more self-confident for you as a woman. But I will also give you something that's close to my heart, because those are the kind of challenges that I had in my life. I have one of my kids is ADHD and struggling with a lot of stuff. As you know, I still have two teenagers at home and a child out in college. And the teenager phase is very, very painful sometimes. And this is also an opportunity for us as mothers to grow spiritually, to adapt, and to leave the space for our kids to find their own path. And that's way easier said than done, because there is the worry part and what is my role, and should I push, should I comfort, should I, whatever you should do. And of course, I don't have the arrogance to tell you what you should do with your own kids. Not at all. Because, first of all, every kid is different. And one thing may work with one and not with the other. But where I can help you is to go in and find your inner peace and find your inner answers and get out of the storm and give you tools to let go. I myself and other mothers that I coach experience a lot of shame when we have certain thoughts. And sometimes we try to push those thoughts down under the carpet. But guess what? If you put some broken glass under a carpet, you're going to hide it for a while. But the more you push under, the more there will be pieces of glass under your carpet. And the day that you're going to walk on it, it's going to cut and it's going to hurt. And that's the same thing with our emotions and our struggles. You cannot push them down. You cannot repress those thoughts. There is a need to bring those thoughts to light. And then the shame will dissipate. I think it's Brené Brown that said that shame cannot stand in the light. And I'm paraphrasing because she said it way more elegantly. But that's the truth. It is time for you to see and admit and really admit what you've been thinking that you don't want to admit without shame, with self-love, with self-compassion. And that's where I'm here to help you, because my talent, my ability is really to soothe people's pain. That's the feedback that I always get from my clients. So, and frankly, I had my, I don't know if you've heard, no, actually, maybe you've seen the Facebook Live, but the podcast episode, my next podcast episode, is going to be about astrology with Natha. And I just had a reading of my chart with her. First of all, this woman is amazing. It was amazingly accurate, and it confirmed everything that I've been going through for the past few years and everything that I'm going through right now. So I lost my track. Yes, self-compassion. She actually saw it in my chart that it was one of my missions in this lifetime, to mother, because I have the strong motherly instinct, and that means mother my clients. Not in the way that I do things for her, but in the way that I hold my hand, to extend my hand to them, to hold theirs, while they go through the fire and get on the other side, while they learn to love themselves and have self-compassion. So I'm here for you in that way. That's what I wanted to share today for this first episode of 2019. I know it's deep, but you know what? We're going to go deep this year, and we're going to change your life to be easier and more fulfilling and more self-loving. Until I see you next week with that episode of astrology that I was talking about, I wish you a wonderful inner discovery. And I hope that you can start now putting the intention out there to be more self-loving and to connect with the part of you that has all the answers and all the love that you need. See you next week.